everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a VFD clock using Arduino. Now our results will look like this. The flicker is due to the shutter speed. In person it will be static like that, which is pretty nice. And you can even put custom messages here, such as on certain times. So let's get to the video. So the display in question is a Lincore Nixdorf cashier display. Now these are used in cash registers, obviously. I got this unit separately for $10, which is pretty cheap considering that these can go for up to $50 or even $100 new. Now this takes 12 volts, but I've chopped the RS-232 cable, so we can input power and connect this to the Arduino, like this. Now it uses 12 volts because the VFD, or vacuum fluorescent display inside, runs at a pretty high voltage. It's 12 volts, but pretty high compared to your Arduino's 5. Now, the reason I picked this specific display is because of the aforementioned vacuum fluorescent display. A vacuum fluorescent display uses another technique to display its images that I will not get into depth for the length of the video. Now, you probably have this type of display in your home. It's in your microwaves, your CD players, old CD players, or in some devices, or even car dashboards. Now, the reason I wanted to use this specific display type was because it looks pretty retro. It looks like old tech because it's present in old tech before the LCDs. And also because these are pretty rugged if you don't break them. If they're in a case like this, they're pretty rugged. And also, I'd say they look really cool and function in the dark. LCDs can also, but their contrast isn't really that good, and maybe in a clock, when you're looking at it in all directions, you want a good contrast. Now, I've seen other people build clocks using the 16x2 LCDs, but I feel like this would be a cool twist to use a VFD to build it. Now, this cable is long, which I don't like. I'm planning on cutting it when I need to. Now, the next thing I'm planning to do is I'm planning to build a case made of acrylic. Stay tuned for part 2. And when that happens, I'm gonna cut this because we don't have space for this huge cable here. So this is some footage of me soldering some pins to the real-time clock because it needs pins because when you get it, it doesn't come soldered. I'm also soldering some pins to the RS-232 port on the display so I can make it interface with the Arduino. After doing some searching, I found a library on GitHub that allowed me to communicate with the display. After downloading the library, I found some code on the internet to synchronize the RTC time so the clock is accurate. Then I adapted some RTC example code so it would work with the VFD display. I also added some functions to make custom text if there's a specific specified time. Thank you for watching my video. Remember to subscribe!